Hi, Savannah.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good. You want to tell me a little bit about your day?
Yeah, I guess today I worked a shift this morning and then got right off from that and went straight to class. And I had a quiz today, which went pretty well. And then I grabbed some late lunch and came here.
Good. Good. And your week has generally just been like that?
Yeah, there hasn't been anything too extreme. I was able to get through the quizzes without freaking out, thankfully. But yeah, that's basically been how it's been going. So yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. So I was thinking a little bit about it before you came in.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking forward to talking to you.
Yeah.
I hope you feel the same way.
Yeah, of course.
But so basically, you totally jump in here, agree or disagree with me. But I feel like in your life there are certain roles that you fulfill, and each one is very distinct and clear. I think you are a student, you are a daughter, and a sibling. We could maybe group that together as family, and you're an employee at work.
Yeah.
I think that those are your three most distinct roles. Would you say that?
Yeah, definitely.
So I have a question. How would you say, if there was like a pie and you have to slice it into pieces, which one would be the biggest piece for you?
Like, how am I valuing it? Like, which would be the most important, or like which is, yeah, like what do you mean?
So we'll try two different ones.
Okay.
We have two pies, okay? Or pizza, whatever your favorite round food is. Let's do one where the slices are determined by which is most important to you.
Okay.
Your value. And then one where how much time you actually spend fulfilling those roles.
Okay, that makes sense. I think being a student is maybe most important to me right now. But I think I probably spend the majority of my time either thinking about my family or stressing out about my family or being with my family or driving my siblings around. So, yeah.
Okay. So, do you see the conflict there?
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to kind of, for us to visualize it. If you laid those on top of each other, they don't match up. And I know we talk about you being a student a lot here, because we are a college counseling center. You came in here on the recommendation of a mentor, and your anxieties have been mainly brought upon by schoolwork.
Yeah.
But I was thinking we can kind of start to shift the focus a little bit. You've been coming for about 6 weeks now.
Okay.
I think it's a really good sign that you didn't have any panic attacks doing your quizzes this week. I'm pleased to hear it. I hope that you're proud of yourself too for handling that. And we've just been focusing a lot on school. So I think now we should start talking about your family, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So just immediately when I say that, what comes to mind?
I don't know what comes to mind, but I felt like my stomach dropped really fast.
I saw that on your face.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I love to talk about them, but I feel like there's been harder stuff in my family, and I know that that's what we'll talk about, so I'm not necessarily excited about it. But
I understand. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, and anytime you don't feel like talking, just let me know. I'm not going to push you.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll push you a little bit.
Yeah, I understand.
I know you love to talk about them, but maybe the stuff that you love to talk about is not the stuff that we're going to be focusing on here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
yeah.
I want us to be on the same page. And you're so smart. You're so smart. You're a psychology student. And I see you, I can almost see it in your face, you processing everything. So I want you, I like that this is collaborative almost, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I like that you try to understand what we're doing as we're doing it. So maybe this is kind of like, you know, a fun, hands-on lesson in psychology also, right?
Yeah.
And I don't get to work with people as smart as you every day. So
Thanks.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as your family is concerned, we've talked a lot about this need to please your parents and always do what's best. Can you think of an incident where things didn't go as planned, maybe?
Yeah, I can think back to my last year, like my freshman year of college, and when I brought home a B, and I didn't really expect my parents to care about it, but they really, really did. It was like more important to them than anything else about school, like my friends or where I was living or anything like that, and it was like a lot more than they cared. Even in high school, I kind of thought like maybe now that I'm in college, you know, they'll expect me to be a little bit more of an adult and like they're not going to check my grades online, and but they did. And I remember coming home to pick up one of my sisters, and my mom was just so mad, and my stepdad was yelling, and yeah, I felt like I was already on defense, and I didn't even know why they were angry. So
what did you feel? What were the emotions you were experiencing?
at first, I was just really surprised, like taken aback by what was going on, and then I felt really upset, like really ashamed and really sad and guilty, and I just wanted to get out of the house as quickly as possible and go home and study so I could make it better. But yeah, that's kind of what I felt.
Is this the first time you've gotten a B since you've been in college?
Yeah, that's the only time I've gotten a B since being in college.
Wow. So this is the first time you've experienced something to this degree with your parents?
Maybe about school, yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, our history with divorces and things like that. So I've seen my parents be upset before, but it wasn't ever necessarily directed at my grades, you know.
But it was directed at you otherwise?
Sometimes, like, when I messed up and, like, didn't get my siblings where they should be on time, or didn't make sure they had their homework done, or sometimes it was just, like, stupid things, but I felt like I was the one who was supposed to be, like, taking care of everything, and if that didn't happen, then people would get upset.
Can you think of a specific?
Well, I remember one time that I told you about that when my mom and my stepdad were first married, and they got in a really bad fight because my stepdad got drunk and was getting pretty violent, and so I didn't know what to do, and I kind of just left. And the next morning, I remember my mom yelling at me a lot for not getting my, like, sisters and brother out of the room and, like, out of the way and where they should be. And I remember trying, like, I had come downstairs to try to ask her if she was okay, and it was like she was really angry at me. So
I'm really sorry. I hope that it's okay for you to talk about it.
yeah, it's okay.
Okay. I just, if you feel at all overwhelmed or uncomfortable, just let me know.
Okay.
So the incident that you just relayed to me, you talked about your mother expressing anger towards you, and then the one that we talked about before, about the grades, the B, your mother also expressed anger towards you. Do you feel like they were the same type of anger? Do you think she reacted similarly or said some of the same things?
Yeah, I feel like most of the time what she's saying is it's your fault, or you should be better, and um, so it's kind of the same. Like she was just really angry and like loud and like very negative towards me, very like saying like I didn't know what was going on and I should pay more attention, I should take care, I should be a better sister, I should be a better daughter, all that stuff. And that's kind of what she says, or I should be smarter, or yeah, all of those things. So it's kind of the same, but I guess when I was still lived at home and I saw stuff with my stepdad and she would get angry at me after those things, like I could see how she was reacting kind of out of her hurtful situation. So I knew that it wasn't always my fault, but it always sounds the same when it comes from her. So.
Sorry, another question then. Do you ever remember her yelling at you like this when there was no preceding fight with your stepdad? Do you ever remember being yelled at out of the blue?
Not really. I mean, my mom and my stepdad have been married since I was young, like maybe 7 or 8 or so. So, my memories before that are not, I don't really remember a lot. Like, I don't remember getting yelled at. I remember my mom's always kind of been hurt and angry, and so I've always learned to kind of like stay away when she's angry. But I don't really remember before her being with my stepdad, and kind of ever since then, there's always just been trouble. So I don't mean that it's his fault. I just mean maybe they aren't the best together. They don't bring out the best in one another, and so it's kind of, I feel like it's on me to like steer clear of it, or make sure my siblings are out of the way, or just to like do everything the best I can so that it doesn't give them something else to fight about.
Yeah, so I'm sensing kind of a pattern in her behavior. We can't be sure about it until, I can speak to her, or maybe you can speak to her. But I'm wondering if you see the same pattern.
What do you see?
Maybe that you've mentioned a couple of times you were yelled at after she fought with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if that's her way of releasing her frustration without directly talking about it, maybe.
Yeah, I guess that definitely makes sense. I guess I just wonder, like, why does that have to come out at us? Like, if she's frustrated or feels like he should be treating her differently, like, why does she not change that with him? Like, why does that have to be our fault,
Yeah, I understand. And I'm, by no means am I saying it's okay for her to do that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's easier for us to accept, maybe not accept, but understand what's happening in our lives when we see a pattern there.
Mm-hmm.
As a psychologist, you will realize how important patterns are.
Yeah.
And I, not even knowing your mother, other than what you've told me about her, I'm already seeing a pattern. So maybe just as a technique, I understand how hurtful it is. You've told me it's confusing and frustrating and hurtful that she takes that out on you. But maybe a way to process some of that is to detect a pattern in her behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess I can maybe sometimes see how when she's yelling, maybe I should just take some context clues and figure out like what's going on for her and why she seems to be so angry.
Yeah, I understand that doesn't change how you feel at all, and I'm not saying by any means that it should, but maybe I know that even in my own life, picking up on patterns, sometimes we just get so confused. Why is this person doing this? Or like, why does it have to be this way? But when we see a pattern, it kind of helps us align things a little more.
Yeah.
So maybe, again, we have no idea until we ask her, and who knows if that'll ever happen. But that time that they yelled at you about your grade, maybe something had happened at home that you weren't there for. You know, when you lived at home, you experienced all of it.
Yeah.
But now that you're not at home, stepping into a volatile situation, you get caught in the line of fire.
Yeah, I think that that's probably true. Like, I mean, I'm the oldest, so my mom probably comes to me first, like, when she wants something done or when she needs help, and it's probably with me that she gets the most frustrated with those things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel to realize some stuff? Have you realized anything today that you hadn't thought of before, maybe?
Yeah, I definitely think seeing the pattern is helpful for me to kind of see in her, and realizing that, like, there's probably a lot going on for my mom to handle. So it doesn't always necessarily mean that, like, I'm the bad guy. That some other stuff is happening. And that's helpful to know, like, when I step into it and go home, that there's this whole scene that's happening that's not about me, that I'm just stepping into. But it just kind of makes me wonder, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem okay. I don't want her to be with someone who's hurting her, and at the same time, like, I don't want my stepdad to keep getting drunk and violent and scary, and I really don't want my siblings to be in that environment, and I don't want to be so yelled at anymore. Like, I don't want to be the bad guy when I come home and when I don't do something right. I just want it to be okay. Yeah.
When you just said when you don't do something right, is that you feeling that you didn't do something right, or you being told that you didn't do something right?
More of me being told, because I feel like I would be more okay with getting an A- or B if I knew that my parents would be okay with it, and that I wouldn't get yelled at or told that I was, like, a bad daughter and a bad student. Like, I am scared of those things, and so I just wish that, like, a bad thing was really a bad thing, you know, like, I had really screwed up, and not just, like, I got a B on a test. Like, everybody else in my class would be so happy with a B, and it's like, for me, a B means that I know my parents will be upset, and yeah. So, and I wish to, like, I love taking care of my siblings and making sure that they have a ride where they need to go, but it's also not, I don't want it to always be, like, on me to make that stuff happen, because I don't live at home anymore, and so, yeah, I just wish that there would be help, or that it wouldn't always be my fault.
It's a lot of I wish.
Yeah.
You know, we all have so many things we wish we could change, and it seems like you deal with a lot of stuff that's out of your control. But it also seems like to me a lot of stuff is in your control. Do you feel that way?
What stuff do you think?
Maybe the scheduling with your siblings. I wonder, have you ever talked to your mother about bearing less of the burden?
Not really. I remember sometimes last year I used to tell her that I couldn't come home to get them from soccer practice or to pick them up from school, and I remember her getting really mad. Like, I need your help, like, it's your fault that you have such a busy schedule, you need to figure it out so you can come home and take care of your siblings. And then, like, a couple times I just didn't show up because I had stuff going on. Like, one time it was in the middle of class, and I remember my siblings had to, like, sit outside the school and wait for an hour and a half until I could come get them. And I don't even know what my mom was doing, but I just know that it was, like, my responsibility. And I don't want to just make them wait outside until someone comes for them, because it's not their fault. So, yeah.
So it sounds like the conversations that you have with your mom aren't really conversations.
No, I don't really think I try to talk to her. I think I just try to avoid making her mad.
So when you bring it up, which I'm really proud of you for even bringing it up, by the way. I know a little bit about you now and about your family, and it probably takes a lot of courage and strength for you to even stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you for doing that.
Thanks.
But when you do, it seems like she shuts you down immediately, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, I don't even know that she tries to shut me down. I think I just get so scared of disappointing her that I don't say anything, or I just do what she wants, or I just totally avoid her so that I don't have to make that happen or make her upset.
So growing up, or once you've been in college, anytime, can you think of an actual conversation you had with your mother about how you felt?
No. It makes me feel bad saying that, but no.
What about, do you remember anyone in your family talking about their feelings?
My siblings and I talk to each other, but we don't talk to our parents about that stuff.
That must have been really hard. I'm sure you had a lot of stuff you wanted to say, and
Yeah, I did. I remember when I was younger, like wanting to tell her about school or wanting to tell her about my friends, and I just remember learning, like, thinking one day, she has no time for this. She has no time to listen to this stuff, and she doesn't care, and she's got way too much going on with dad or my stepdad or whatever. And so I just stopped trying to talk to her about things, and yeah. But I always want to make sure my siblings know that they can talk to me, so we talk about stuff. But with her, I just always feel like I'm gonna do something wrong.
Sounds like it's very difficult, but I just want you to know, I don't know if you've heard it before, but I think you're an outstanding person. I think the fact that you used your own experiences to help your siblings is an amazing, mature, very insightful thing that you did.
Thank you.
And I think that you are such a strong, supportive person for your siblings. I just don't know if you've ever experienced someone like that in your own life, like your siblings had in you.
Yeah, luckily I've had some like Bible study leaders and some mentors and older women like kind of be supportive and be there for me. So I've always had them, but I don't have that in my family. So.
Well, I want to try something.
Okay.
Just gonna throw it out there, and I think it will help. Have you ever heard of the empty chair technique?
No.
Well, I have a chair right here. It's empty, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking this. I had an idea that we could maybe pretend that your mom was sitting in that chair.
Okay.
And you have free reign to talk about your emotion.
Okay.
If your mom was sitting there and she was receptive to hearing you out, what you would say to her.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, like, I don't even know what I'll say. Like, I don't even know how to talk to her about it. And I'm sure this is a little weird, but I'll try it.
Good. It actually almost sounds to me like you want to, which is not a reaction I experience very often.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you have years of pent up emotion. And you know, a lot of times going into this, we don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why it can be so helpful.
Yeah.
So just whenever you're ready, let's just visualize your mother sitting there, and I want you to just say whatever comes to mind to her.
Okay. Mom, I want to know where you are all the time and why you count on me so much to do things that aren't my job. And I want to know why you stay with guys that aren't good for you and who don't treat you well. And I just kind of want to know why you get so angry at us when the biggest thing we've done is forget to fold our clothes, or we've gotten a B on a math test. And I just wonder why you never wanted to talk to me like a mother-daughter, and why I always felt like I had to be in charge of myself. And I just wish that you would treat us differently than how you treat us now.
How's that feel?
It feels good because I guess these are things that I've wanted to ask for a long time, but it also feels like really sad, I guess. Really sad that that's my relationship with my mom, and that it's not better than that.
We each have relationships that are unique. My relationship with my mother is not the same as your relationship with your mother, and everyone across the board is going to be different. I think we live in a society where we have an idyllic picture, and I'm here to tell you it's not like that a lot. I think a really good start is recognizing what your relationship is and aspects of it that you would like to change. Because I think acknowledging that is a good first step. Can you think of anything you would change about your relationship with your mother if you could?
Yeah, I mean, I wish she was more of a mom and like nice and kind, and I wish that she showed that she cared about me more than me getting good grades. And I wish that I could go to her when I needed help and I didn't worry about like if she was gonna get mad at me, you know. I wish that that I could trust her to take care of my siblings and that she would be kind to them.
Yeah, that's a lot. You seem really down.
Yeah, I feel like tired almost, like I want to go think about something else, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's, you know what? What do you have planned after this, if you don't mind me asking? Do you have?
I was just gonna do homework.
Yeah. Maybe we're running a little bit out of time. I don't want you to leave feeling sad. Feeling tired is normal because what you did today was a huge step. Never having expressed those types of emotions to your mother, even just pretending to, I understand how exhausting it can be. Just a couple of things before you go. When you leave here, I want you to not go directly to homework, but maybe do something that, just even for like 20 minutes, that makes you happy. Whether it's eating ice cream with a friend or going for a walk or a jog, before you dive into your homework.
Okay.
Just because I think that having like gone through some tough emotions, I think that it might not be the best time for you to do homework.
Yeah.
Can you think of something you'd like to do coming out of here?
Yeah, I think maybe like going for a walk around my neighborhood would be good. Like it's springtime and I feel like I haven't been outside, so that would be good.
And then that'll help. And then I know you have a ton of homework for school, so I'm just going to ask you to do something. If you don't have time, do not worry. I repeat, do not worry
Okay.
about this. It's not a grade, but I think it might be really helpful. We're just now tapping into some things you'd like to say to your mother, but maybe just if you want to write a letter, you don't have to send it to her, and you can bring it in next week and we can talk about it. But if there's a free moment that you have and you're reflecting on what we talked about in here, even just a postcard. But if you want to write her something addressed to her and bring it in with you next week. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good, and it'll probably be hard, but it sounds good.
And again, only if you are feeling up for it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I feel so proud of you, and I'm sorry that if you found this session very difficult, but I hope you see the importance in what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think you're amazing. I think you're going to do amazing things.
Thank you.
And I feel like we're making some really good progress.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm really excited about seeing you next week too.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good day, Savannah.
Thank you so much.